Well, hey everybody, I did not prepare because I forgot already what I weighed this morning. It's Friday. It's been 5 days since my last weigh. Let me consult my scale thing here. Well, forgive me. I weighed 222.2 this morning. And let me try to remember what the heck I weighed when we talked on Sunday. It was 226.2. So in the last 5 days, I lost another 4 pounds during the keto egg fast. And so in August, I've lost, 19.2 pounds, I think. And since doing the keto egg fast, I've lost another 11 pounds with 8 days to go until vacation. And I am going to continue along through this. I had been a little looser the last half week, eating a few ounces of cheese. I do notice that my ketone levels are higher and my weight drops a little quicker when I don't have a couple ounces of cheese, regardless if my caloric intake is the same or not. Of course, this is a snapshot of who knows what your body does from day to day. Anyway, the reason I also wanted to turn on the camera and chat a little bit with you guys is I keep talking about me being on a level of ketosis that could fight cancer and whatnot, and perhaps you don't even know what that means. I also throw around the GKI and throw numbers at you and throw my glucose level and my ketones level, and you may not know anything about that, and I think perhaps I should talk a little bit about that. So I actually am going to do go to the Keto Mojo website and show you a little bit about what I'm talking about, and hopefully it will illustrate as I narrate it for you. Here we go. Okay, so what I bring my ketone levels and have been making the I'm fighting cancer claims with, and call me Dr. Greg, is the glucose ketone index, which there's a lot of information all across the interwebs on this, but I'm using Keto Mojo, partly because Keto Mojo is what I use to measure my ketones and my glucose reading. And the GKI formula, how they come up with the number is they take your glucose reading, whatever it may be, divide it by 18, then divide that number by your ketone reading, and that's what comes up with your GKI. So the different levels of GKI are represented here. So if you were above a 9, and they're saying, hey, you're not in ketosis. Between 6 and 9, you're in a low level of ketosis, and this is generally where people sit when they are doing a keto diet, being for weight loss and maintenance. 3 to 6, moderate level of ketosis. A lot of times this is for people who have type 2 diabetes, obesity, insulin resistance, metabolic or endocrine disorders. So yeah, 1 to 3, you're in a high therapeutic level of ketosis. Those are using keto therapeutically for treatment of diseases such as cancer, epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, traumatic brain injury, and chronic inflammatory disease. And then if you're below 1, you're in the highest therapeutic level of ketosis, which is very difficult to achieve without doctor's supervision. With the keto egg fast, I've actually achieved below 1. And that's why I said call me Dr. Greg, jokingly. But instead of giving you all of that jargon, as I had before, which could be misleading to people, that gives you an idea of where I come up with these claims and how I measure it and stuff. Now, you can be in nutritional ketosis, or I should say by the ketone reading, but your glucose reading can kick you out of it, because I've actually had instances where my glucose was like up at 110 and my ketones were at like 0.5, which a lot of times they say 0.5 is where you need to be to start entering that ketosis. And if you take a look here, I'm above that 9 there. So the glucose reading is very important too. That's the reason why I do measure both of them. Now, I think it was Tuesday, I was at 4.2 and my glucose reading was at 74. And I was at 0.98 at that time. So I was below that 1. That's where I was claiming to be Dr. Greg. So hopefully that sheds a little light on why I was joking about call me Dr. Greg, and I'm at a level of ketosis that can fight cancer. This is what it's going off of. Hopefully that makes sense. I seriously always find that stuff fascinating because I love numbers so much. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love Fitbit and counting steps. It's numbers are cool. That's why even for the longest time I'd resisted it, but one of the reasons I like to log what I eat on MyFitnessPal and then look at the calories burned. It's just, to me, the numbers are, I find them motivating, things that I can try to beat and things like that. But I guess the bottom line is when if you diet, ask yourself, how do I feel? Is this working for me and my body and things like that? But I did want to, and that's the important thing. And I've noticed this through especially the second half of August. It feels like my energy, my attitude, my positivity has just really improved. I'm not saying none of the things in July that bothered me weren't happening in August. They were, but with my mind kind of in a heightened state, working off ketones, I just feel like I tackle them in a much more logical and less human way. I don't know if that makes sense. In any case, I am going to come back in 8 days to give you a Hot for Halloween update, which is the end of the phase 1, which will be the end of the egg fast, and into the phase 2, which is actually going to document and track tons of exercise versus vacation eating. Let's see how that goes. So I will see you guys Saturday. Hope you're having a great one.